Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started. Hello to all of our newly admitted Tritons for winter 2025. And on behalf of our office, the International Services and Engagement Office, also known as ISEO, good evening. We're really excited to be welcoming you to UC San Diego, so thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Jessica Boyle, and I am an international student advisor here at ISEO. And I'm personally also just really excited to be able to welcome you into our campus community. And I'm hoping to meet several of you in person throughout your time here and really looking forward to that. I want to quickly share a little bit about myself, introduce myself. So a fun fact about me, I am a San Diego native. I was born and raised here, so I love San Diego. It's my hometown, and I am confident that you will really enjoy the time you spend getting to know this city. Um, San Diego is nicknamed America's finest city, and one of the things that I personally think make it so fine are its many great hiking trails. When I'm not in the office, you can find me enjoying a hike with my family or friends. So if you see me at a future event, please come and introduce yourself. And if you also like getting outdoors, ask me about my favorite places to go hiking in San Diego. All right. Before we get started, I want to share a few housekeeping items with all of us. So first, you are in listen-only mode. That means you can hear us, but we cannot hear you. Next, we are recording. This webinar will be posted at inewstudentwebinars.ucsd.edu in about a week for you to access if you feel at any point in time that you want to review the information we share here. Third, please use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen to get your questions answered. We will have a time for Q&A at the end of this webinar. We'll also have one of my colleagues answering questions in the chat. So you can use that Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen to submit your questions in advance. If for any reason we are able to get to everyone's questions today, there are a variety of ways that you can connect with our office and get those questions answered. So you can visit icontact.ucsd.edu to connect with us after today's session. And then last but not least, make sure you stick around till the end of the presentation so you can complete our survey and be entered in a gift card raffle. All right. And one very important last reminder is to make sure you submit your check-in form. Hopefully, many of you may have already done this, but all new international exchange students are required to complete this check-in process within 10 days of your arrival to the United States. If you have not yet submitted your check-in form and you've been here for more than 10 days, no worries, you can still do it, but please make it a priority to submit your check-in form right away. Our office cannot activate or turn on your F1 or J1 status until we receive this check-in form from you. Once we receive your check-in form, we'll activate your Form I-20 or Form DS 2019, and you will then be an active status international or exchange student in the US. For instructions on how to submit the check-in form and the documentation you'll need to include, please visit our website at icheckin.ucsd.edu. And without further ado, I am going to hand it over to our Assistant Director, Pauline de Guzman, to get us started on our presentation.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Jessica. Hi, everyone. My name is Pauline de Guzman. I am the Assistant Director for International Student Services here at ISEO. I am so excited to be meeting many of you today virtually. I've worked in international education for over 12 years, and I can still say that my favorite part of the job is seeing students on their very first day on campus, shaking hands and meeting who they don't know yet will be lifelong friends and even partners one day. I'm really looking forward to meeting many of you next week or even tomorrow at our coffee hours. But again, welcome. A bit about me. My mom arrived to the US alone on a work visa, and little did she know she was pregnant with me. So from a really young age, I watched her adjust to living in a new country, learning new skills at her job, making new friends, and building her own support system here in the US. And I also watched her cry quite a bit at night because she really did miss my dad. and all of her family and friends back home. So during your time here, ISEO will be a part of your support system. We'll talk about your support system a bit today. I look forward to seeing and meeting again many of you and seeing many of your first interactions here on campus, forming your own support circles and communities. And I'm excited for each of you to begin your journey here at UCSD. So let's go ahead and let's jump into today's presentation. On today's agenda, we do have a review of your document self-check. So we will be taking a look at just some of your documents, a review of what you should have already covered through the iTriton online training. And then we'll touch base also on F1 and J1 regulations and just the basics of making sure that you're maintaining your status. We'll talk a bit, of course, about ISEO, your support system here, and then we'll close with welcome programs. Let's go ahead and let's jump in. All right, so ISEO, our team is made up of 20 friendly advisors. We have administrative staff and student assistants who are here and ready to support you during your time here with us. We can advise you on understanding your immigration status, when it comes time for you to start looking for off-campus internships or maybe getting some research experience on campus. We can also help you understand the work authorization pieces as an international student. When it comes time for you to start traveling, visiting family or friends internationally back home, we can also help you understand travel and re-entry, and just in general, how to adjust to classes and campus life here in the US. Another form of advising that ISEO offers is known as programming, or hosting engaging events or programs to help you shape the best experience and understand all the available tools and resources for success while studying at UCSD. Now, ISEO is not the only office on campus who will help you during your time here. If you're a graduate student, you can contact your graduate coordinator. This is an individual within your academic department who will help you with the administrative tasks and really help you to plan along the way to completing your program. If you're an undergraduate student, you should familiarize yourself with your college academic advising office, and they will be able to help you navigate, make academic progress also during your program. You can also rely on your professors in your classes, faculty in your departments, and so forth. And lastly, there are other offices on campus that can help you during your program. Sometimes when you come to ISEO and you ask a question like, well, how do I find a summer internship? It's not just something that we can help answer. Sometimes we might point you to campus partners, such as the career advisors here, just down the street from us, near Target there. The Career Center can help you understand how to select and find internships that fit your skill set and so forth. They can help you write resumes, understand internship and interview skills. So there are a lot of questions that you might have that you might not be able to get a single answer from one office. So again, really important when building your support system to succeed during your time here. Okay, so I know all of you have reviewed or accessed the iTriton online training. We will do just a quick review and just talk briefly about your documents today. But it is important that you are familiar with how to do a document self-check. So whenever you are entering the US, you should, or re-entering the US, I should say, you should make sure that you take a look at your passport, your visa page inside of your passport, your F1 Form I-20 or your J1 DS 2019, and your Form I-94. You should always check these documents and make sure that everything looks accurate, up to date. And if you do see any inconsistent information or anything you might have questions about, it's always a good idea to come and talk to an ISEO advisor. Your documents are extremely important. So here are some tips when reviewing your documents and how to keep your documents safe and up to date. So during your program, you will need to use many of these documents to apply for work authorization, maybe a driver's license, a bank account, your social security number or social security card, and other benefits. So it's important that you never, ever discard or throw away any documents. Keep all copies of your Form I-20 or DS 2019s from ISEO. And also, if you've transferred to us from a different institution, you want to make sure that you keep all previous Form I-20s and DS 2019s as well. Make sure that you keep all of your documents valid and up to date. So in the iTriton online training, you should have seen how to maintain certain pieces on the Form I-20, such as your program end date. If you need more time, make sure that you submit an application to extend that end date in a timely manner, and so forth. It's also a great idea if you take a photo of all of your documents and keep digital copies on your phone, just in case you lose them during travel or vacation. Lastly, each time you prepare for international travel and each time you re-enter the US, you can visit iselfcheck.ucsc.edu. And this is a really good guide to help you understand how to check each document and make sure that it is valid and that you maintain all of the requirements on each document accordingly. So again, your passport and with your F1 or J1 visa inside of your passport, your F1 Form I-20 or J1 Form DS 2019, as well as your electronic Form I-94. If you visit iselfcheck.ucsc.edu, it goes over each document and how to make sure that you check those for accuracy. Come and talk to us again if you notice any discrepancies. Okay. So now that you're all familiar with your immigration documents, I know Jessica mentioned earlier that you should make sure that you submit your check-in form. So this is again just a reminder so that you understand how we come to activate your CVIS record and how we report that you've enrolled lawfully as an F1 or a J1 student here in the United States. So once you arrive to the US, you can log on to a CBP's website and you can generate what is known as your electronic Form I-94. This shows that you've legally entered the US in F1 or J1 status. Once you've done that, then you can log into iTriton, Triton link. That's tritonlink.ucsc.edu, and you can make sure that you update your US address. And then once you have those pieces finalized, please make sure that you also log into the iPortal, iportal.ucsc.edu. And as Jessica mentioned earlier, submit that check-in form for I-20 or DS 2019 activation. Once this is done, you should be enrolling full-time in your program of study and maintain full-time enrollment. We cannot stress this enough, but failure to submit the check-in form can have serious consequences on your immigration status. So please do take a moment today, if you haven't already done so, to make sure you complete this step. Okay, so let's briefly talk about the rules. And again, this is a review of our iTriton online training. But we will talk about the term maintaining status. You will hear this quite a bit within ISEO's guidance on our website and lots of our presentations, webinars, and our advising sessions. But what does that actually mean? So when you are holding an active CVIS status or a valid J1 status, it means that you have understood the rules. You are following all of the university and federal regulations for your visa status. And it also means that you are maintaining all of your documents. Together, that means you are maintaining your status. Okay. Now, during your time here, you should be maintaining an active status if you follow these various rules. However, there are times where if you are unable to follow these rules, you will fall out of status. Luckily, we don't have many students who fall in these situations, but ISEO does work closely with our students to make sure that you do understand the rules and regulations behind your individual statuses. And we will work with you in instances where we feel you might need a little bit more support. The first is enrolling full-time. These are the 5 top rules for maintaining your status. And again, a review of our iTriton online training, but the first is enrolling full-time. All international students are required to enroll in a minimum of 12 units every academic term. So this is fall, winter, and spring. The summer term is optional for enrollment, so students may choose to enroll or just spend the entire summer abroad, traveling, laying on the beach, whatever you'd like. Full-time enrollment is not required in the summer, but you may enroll if you choose to. The second is updating your DS 2019 or Form I-20 with any relevant changes. So this might include any changes to your major, your program end date if you need more time, or maybe if you need to take less units and you do qualify to take less units through a reduced course load, things like that. You might want to come and talk to our office about these changes if you're not sure how to make them, and make sure that they're updated on your immigration documents. The third is maintaining academic standing and integrity. Now, excelling with integrity means that you are doing your own work, ensuring that credit is given where credit is due when it comes to research and so forth. So do talk to your department and your colleges about academic integrity and how to make sure that you excel with integrity during your academic programs with us. Students who are found responsible for academic integrity violation. Many of you might know this as plagiarism or cheating. Any students, any international students who are found responsible for these types of violations will have a direct impact to their immigration status. And so we do ask that students do learn about proper etiquette to avoid falling into these types of situations. The fourth is following federal rules and regulations. When we talk about federal rules, we talk about rules that apply to the entire nation. There are also state laws that might apply to individual states. ISEO does try to simplify how the federal rules and regulations are written so that it's easier for our students to understand and thus follow. Many of the things that we're outlining today are based on federal regulation. If you're not sure about something that you can do, this includes the fifth rule, which is working in the US, taking a specific job. It's always important to make sure that you come and check with us, come and talk to our advisors, and we can guide you in the right direction. And the last one is work authorization. International students should first check to ensure that they have the proper work authorization before starting any kind of job. This includes on-campus as well as off-campus jobs. We do have another session, I believe, sometime this week on working in the US. So please do check the registration for that webinar. Please do attend, learn more about working and the types of work authorization you might need to apply for. Unauthorized employment or working without any kind of authorization does have pretty serious consequences on your immigration status. So if you are wanting to learn more about working in the US, before you start, you can visit iwork.ucsc.edu. Go through all of the options we have for working on campus, off campus to learn more. If you have any questions, again, please come and talk to one of our advisors. All right, so these are the basic 5 rules that we recommend that you make sure that you remember during your program here. Let's take a look at where you might be able to access more information on maintaining your status. Before we jump into that, just a reminder for full-time enrollment. You must be enrolled, again, full-time, 12 units, by the end of week 2 to satisfy your F1 or J1 visa requirements. Do note you are not guaranteed enrollment in specific UC San Diego courses. We do recommend having alternative courses options prepared to ensure you can meet full-time enrollment requirements. You should contact your college or your department advisors for assistance with course enrollment options. For our exchange students, do remember to also contact your home university advisor for assistance selecting UC San Diego courses that meet your home university program requirements. Okay. So moving on to additional resources for maintaining your status. Again, the iTriton online training, which many of you should have already reviewed, is a self-paced comprehensive program created by ISEO for international students to help them navigate the various rules and regulations of their status. But it's also full of tips and guidance about how to settle into life at UCSD and just find community. Please do make sure that you review the iTriton online training and complete it if you have not done so already. Okay, we do require that all of our international students do complete the iTriton online training modules, which answer most common questions we see students um, ask at the beginning of their programs. Okay. You can also visit ISCO's website at isco.ucsd.edu, which has general information about maintaining your visa status. And again, visit icontact.ucsd.edu if you want to connect with an ISCO advisor on your specific case. Okay. Now I'll pass it back to Jessica.
All right. Thank you, Pauline. Okay, so now that we have reviewed your resources for learning about and maintaining your status, I want to take a few minutes to show you how to get involved with all the fun elements of becoming a student here at UC San Diego, engaging with your new community. So if you are interested in meeting other UC San Diego international and exchange students, if you're interested in making new friends through fun activities like conversation dinners, crafting events, global coffee hours, the way to find where all that is happening is to look at our iEvents calendar. The iEvents calendar is a live calendar that features globally engaged events hosted by ISEO, by student organizations here on campus, by our campus departments all throughout the year. So visit ievents.ucsd.edu to see the latest and get involved. One upcoming event that I particularly want to highlight is our Global Coffee Hour, which is taking place tomorrow, January 8th, starting at 8 a.m. Hopefully, I hope many of you have already signed up to attend. If not, it's not too late. Global Coffee Hour will be taking place right outside the ISCO office. We're located in Student Center B, and we will be in the Eucalyptus Grove for Global Coffee Hour. So come on over for a cup of coffee and a morning pastry. It'll be your chance to join us for fun activities, to again get to meet other members of the international community, get to meet ISEO staff, and hopefully the beginning of some new friendships with friends from all across the world. It's going to be a great time. So I hope I see you there. Okay. And then, as I mentioned at the start of this presentation, we would love it if you take a minute to scan this QR code and fill out the survey. We are always looking to make improvements to our sessions and events, and so this is your chance to let us know what was helpful about this, what would you be interested in hearing about in the future. If you do actually fill out and submit this survey, you're eligible for our gift card raffle to win a $10 Amazon gift card. So thank you for taking just a moment to do this. I promise it won't take too long. Um, and then in addition, while you're filling that out, just a final few reminders. As we've mentioned many times, please make sure you submit that check-in form. The check-in form you will submit via iPortal, and that is where you'll upload your Form I-94 to the check-in form request so that we know you have safely arrived here to the United States. Again, ievents.ucsd.edu is how you can register for other events and also other workshops like this that will help you understand benefits of your immigration status. And then if you have in the future questions, you want to get in touch with us, we are available by email, by phone, and you can also meet one-on-one with an advisor either via Zoom or in person at our walk-up advising. All of those different ways to get in touch with us, you can be found at icontact.ucsd.edu. So make sure you visit that page. And then, yeah, last but not least, we are also on social media. So follow us, another great way to keep up with the fun things going on, events and ways that you can get engaged with the international community here at UC San Diego. All right. And I think at this time, we will move into a time of Q&A. If you do have questions that have not been, that you haven't had a chance to ask yet and you would like to get them answered, please go ahead and submit them in the Q&A feature now, and we will get those addressed for you. And I think, let's see, while we give everyone a moment to submit their questions, I want to share a couple things. Another orientation event that we have going on this week, actually tomorrow evening, is our Working in the US webinar. If you are interested in learning more about the different types of employment and the types of employment authorization that you need as an international or exchange student to undertake employment in the United States, you will not want to miss this session as it's going to be an overview of all of that. I am putting in the Zoom chat the registration link. So make sure if you're interested in learning more about working in the US that you sign up so that you receive the Zoom link for tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. And then I'm also adding tomorrow morning the link for Global Coffee Hour if you have not yet registered for that and you would like to attend. All right, we'll give it a moment to see. Let's take a look at what questions we already had here. Pauline, maybe while we're waiting for questions to be submitted, we had a couple folks who had questions about the I-94. Would you mind showing us the website students could visit and how they access that?
Yes, so I do see that, Vanessa, thank you for sharing that link for a question. I will share it here in the um, chat. Or Jessica, if you would be able to share the website. Not sure if that goes to everyone.
Yeah, I could do that.
Ah, here it is. So this is the I-94 website. So it's i94.cbp.dhs.gov. And when you do go here, do make sure that you have first entered the US before you go and try to generate your electronic Form I-94. But once you go ahead and go on this website, it will ask you for personal information. This should match information that is listed on your passport. Once you do this, it will generate a PDF of your electronic Form I-94.
Thank you, Pauline. I don't know, I don't think we were able to see it on our end if you
Oh,
had
I
actually navigated there.
apologize. Let me see. I think, let me try to screen share once more. Would have been helpful. Okay, let's try this. Well, how about now? Can you all see
Yes,
the
now we see it.
Well, that's helpful. So if you do visit, again, the website is shared in the chat here, i94.cbp.dhs.gov. It will take you to our Get Most Recent I-94 page where you can then enter your travel information. And this traveler information should match all the information on your passport. And when you do enter all of this information, you will then be able to generate the PDF of your most recent Form I-94. And again,
Awesome.
make sure you have entered the US. And each time you enter, you will get a new Form I-94, which is an electronic record of your travel or entry to the US.
Thank you, Pauline.
Mhm.
I see we have a question in the chat, which we may not be able to look up your iPortal request at this point in time. I see that you say you successfully uploaded your Form I-94 and proof of your CSC payment. However, when you're checking your iPortal account, you don't see a submission date and you're not sure if it was successfully submitted. If we can ask you to send an email to istudents@ucsd.edu and provide us with your PID. One of our advisors will look into that and make sure that your iPortal request was successfully submitted. All right. See Vanessa also typing out a response to that. If we don't have any further questions, the last thing I want to add is I saw we did have a question about can exchange students be involved in sports teams here at UC San Diego, which Vanessa answered, but just for the benefit of everyone, yes. All of our international exchange students are able to engage in recreational activities. I'm going to repaste the link to the UC San Diego Rec Center in the chat to everyone. Another place to look for options to get involved with the broader campus community is our student organizations, which you can also look at the very long list of all the amazing things that our clubs that our students have started at studentorg.ucsd.edu. Definitely encourage you to look at both the rec center and the student orgs to see if there's ways that you would like to start making new friends here at UC San Diego. I think we've got maybe a couple more questions coming in.
I think we have another question about the status of the check-in form. Jessica, I know you had mentioned, of course, we can use iStudents to email, but also we can put in tech support in the chat. And you can speak to an advisor when you join tech support, and you're able to confirm your submission directly with someone as well. So you have the option of emailing, but also I would recommend tech support because then you don't have to wait for a response. You can talk
Indeed.
to someone directly.
Yes, thank you, Vanessa. And I'm going to share my screen really quickly. We mentioned earlier our contact page, ways that you can get in touch with our office. I want to show you what that page looks like and the contact method that Vanessa is referring to. Are you all able to see my screen right now? Yes? Okay,
Yes.
great. So when you go to icontact.ucsd.edu, it is going to take you to this page. As you scroll down, you will see these expandable boxes that have the different ways that you can get in touch with our office. You'll see there's many of them. So we have an email contact form that you can submit. You can schedule a virtual appointment if you would like to meet one-on-one with one of our advisors via a 20-minute Zoom appointment. We also have in-person advising on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays in the afternoons from 2:30 to 4, where you can just walk up to our front desk and meet with an advisor for about 10 minutes to get your questions answered. And the other service that might be of use to you, as Vanessa mentioned, is our tech support. This is a Zoom offered in the mornings on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday that is specifically for questions you might have about iPortal requests. So exactly what some of you have been asking, how do I make sure the request got submitted? Or maybe I submitted a request, but it was set to incomplete and I'm not quite sure what I need to do to complete it and resubmit it. Any questions you have about your iPortal request, tech support is a great way to get those questions answered live. And then, of course, we also have a phone number. Pauline mentioned during the presentation that our office is also available for questions you might have about traveling abroad and re-entering the United States during your program. We have information on our website at iTravel. Could someone put that iTravel in the chat for me? itravel.ucsd.edu. We would also recommend that prior to travel, you make a note of our phone number in your phone, just in case you do experience any travel emergencies, maybe coming back through customs at one point. Government official has questions, they need to get in touch with us. Our phone number is available 24/7 for travel emergencies. All right, and let's see. All right, we have a question about how do I find my academic advisor? Yeah, this is a great question. So, UC San Diego is a bit of a unique system in that there are 8 colleges here. These are almost like, think about like academic houses. So you belong to one of these academic houses during your program here at UC San Diego. Each college has an academic advising office. So you may not have an academic advisor that is specifically assigned to you, but you do have academic advisors available through your college to help you with your academic planning. You can find your academic advisor by going to your college's website, and they will typically in the menu have an advising section that will take you right to who are their academic advising staff and how do you get in touch with them. You can also access your college academic advising office by going to the Virtual Advising Center, um, which can be reached by going to vac.ucsd.edu. All right, and I love, thank you all for working on submitting your check-in forms right now. That's so helpful for us so we can get your records activated. Have another question about where exactly do you submit the form I-94? When you go into iPortal to complete the check-in process, there is a request form in iPortal that you will submit to us. The form is called Check-in for I-20 DS 2019 activation. As part of submitting that form, you will be asked to upload your PDF I-94. So that's where you'll submit that document. I think that is just about all the questions, but I see Vanessa typing away and we'll give it a moment just in case anybody has any other questions. And also, if you have not been grabbing links out of the chat as we've been posting them, but we said something that you're interested in checking out, maybe the rec center, make sure you grab the links in the chat before we sign off. Okay. I do not see any other questions coming through. So just again, on behalf of our office, want to say thank you for joining us for tonight's session, and also just welcome. If no one has said welcome to you yet, welcome to UC San Diego, welcome to California, welcome to the United States. We're really happy to have you here. We're really looking forward to getting to know you, and confident you're gonna have a really good time enjoying your program here at UC San Diego. So thank you again. Have a good evening, and we will see you around.